Hello, and welcome to the Scooby Zone, the podcast where I'm falling up as we watch a bit of Scooby-Doo media. Today, I'm Rob,
And I'm Katie.
and today we'll be watching episode 11, A Gaggle of Galloping Ghosts. And speaking of A Gaggle of Ghosts, today we are joined by Scooby Zone superfans Gus and Pierre.
Hey,
Hi, thank you for having us on.
No, thank you for wanting to be on.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate that.
Of course.
So, it's your guys' first time on the podcast, so
Definitely first time.
why don't you guys tell us a little bit of your start with this great franchise of this Great Dane of a dog that we love so much?
Well, I started watching Scooby back in the 80s when I was a wee little pup. So my first memories are of watching Scooby-Doo on Saturday mornings,
Yep.
especially the episodes with Scrappy-Doo. Those were some of the most classic ones that I loved watching. What about you, Gus?
I basically just got interested in it by my parents.
Yeah.
Same.
Can relate, that's how I got in. My dad is a huge Scooby fan. So, yeah, when watching on reruns on Cartoon Network in the early 90s, it was usually always on in my house.
Unless you're like me and you have it on VHS tape from someone who recorded it for you. That was how you got into it, from your uncle. So, that's how I got into the franchise.
Yeah. It's great that Scooby's lasted as long as he has.
Oh, yeah.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And, and it's refreshing hearing you have fond memories of the Scrappy-Doo era. I feel like you look online, there's so much hate towards Scrappy, and while he's not my favorite of the characters,
No.
I can tolerate him. And in, small doses, it's don't know how I'll feel if I binge watch a whole series with him.
For sure.
But
He was new when I started watching,
Yeah.
so that's probably part of the nostalgia for me.
Right? Yeah.
But I do think he gets the short end of the stick a lot of the times. It's not his fault that
No.
the people writing at the time didn't know what to do with him.
For sure. You gotta love puppy power.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Puppy power, of course.
Other questions. You guys have a favorite monster overall? I can guess.
You can guess.
With you guys wanting to be on this particular episode. But I could be wrong.
Well, the werewolf certainly is a favorite. It's in a couple episodes, and those are good ones. So I always enjoyed the werewolf. What about you?
I also like the snow ghost a lot.
My favorite's always been the spooky space kook.
Oh,
I know
that's
that
a good one. Yeah.
that was my dad's favorite episode growing up, and
Yep.
that I think is a good episode for somebody who's never seen Scooby before,
Yeah,
because it
I think
hits
so, too.
all the great beats
Yeah.
of why Scooby is so hilarious.
Yeah,
For sure.
Definitely.
Captain Cutler, another excellent one.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Excellent
He has
one.
made our list too.
Yes. I think he's what? 3 on
Three,
the
I think,
list?
is where he's
Three
sitting
now.
right
Yeah,
now.
I think right now he's
Right
number
now.
3. Yep.
Um,
Yep. Oh,
3 or 4. I can't
3 or
remember where we
4. We'll
put
have
the
to
ghost
look.
clown last week.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Um,
that's true. We have the ghost clown too.
Although we'll get to that later when we
Yes, we will.
go through. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
I don't think so. I think we're pretty much set to watch the episode.
Okay. What about you guys? Do you have any questions for us? Any
Yeah,
comments?
we need to.
I love the Scooby snack count and listening to how
yes.
many we're getting up to. And I am surprised how low it is
I
yet.
know.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, you think, he's eating 10 an episode, right?
Right? Exactly.
Not close to that yet. I
No.
hope it picks up soon, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I'm
should
hoping.
pick up.
I'm hoping to pick up soon. I believe
definitely
our
hope it
current
picks
count is 19 Scooby snacks,
And one
plus one Shaggy,
one Shaggy
snack,
snack.
plus one hero sandwich
Oh, that's
from
right.
last
the
week.
huge- Yep.
And I would expect there to be about half of that in one episode.
Yeah.
So
You would
we'll
expect
see
it.
when especially some of those where he starts eating the whole boxes in one
Yeah.
sitting.
Oh, yes.
I know we are getting close to where there's at least a whole box eaten, because I think in Nowhere to Hide,
Okay.
there's a point where Scooby gives Shaggy an entire box of Scooby snacks
Mm.
during the chase scene.
Okay.
That should bring up the total.
That should figure out how many ever are
When we
in that
figure
box.
out how many are
You haven't
actually in
figured
a
out
whole
how many
box.
are in. You haven't figured that out yet.
Might have to watch in slow motion, watch them slowly drop out to determine how many are actually in the
I
box.
have to. It depends if that was the whole box too, you know, because Velma probably likes to save them.
That's
You
true.
know, so it might be half a box
Yeah.
anyway.
No, surprisingly few times Velma's lost her glasses so far. Like,
Yeah, we expected that to be more,
like,
but
yeah, I think we're at like 2 or 3 times only.
yeah.
You think it's every single
You
episode?
think
It is. It's been very mind blowing. Just
It
like
has been.
you have
Yep.
all these preconceived notions of like what all happens in every episode,
Yep.
and we haven't like gotten like very little of it. Like I don't think they've yet to say those meddling kids,
No, I don't think. Yeah,
and like that's just such an iconic line.
it is. Yep.
Well, it's still first season. They're trying to find
Right.
themselves,
Yes,
and
That is probably true.
it'll pick up, I'm sure.
Yep.
yes, and yeah, we've had very few traps as well.
We have had very few. Good. Yeah,
Like-
we've had some good ones,
I
but
thought for sure we'd have a lot of traps, like one per
Yeah,
episode,
right.
but like no, some episodes there's just no trap.
yeah. So it's like, how does that even make any sense? There's like no trap.
Yeah.
It's like,
Some ghosts are easier to catch than
I
others.
guess some are easier to get than others.
I do like the fake train, though. I
Yeah.
thought that was very ingenious.
Yes.
Yep. That's a good.
Utilizing Shaggy's expertise.
Yes.
Shaggy's expertise. We got to put that one in there.
Hey, when he stops being an expert in something,
That's gonna be an issue.
yeah. You know, because I don't think there's anything he's not an expert in.
No, apparently not.
You know,
He's
last
an
week we
expert.
showed that he's more of an expert trap maker than Fred.
That's true.
He's very good at that.
He is very good.
So, anyways, think that we're good to go. So we'll split up. Go look for some clues. Watch the episode. You guys can too. The entire series of Scooby-Doo Where Are You is available on DVD, Blu-ray. It's all still currently available on Tubi. You can purchase it digitally off of the Fandango, what used to be Voodoo service.
I think Amazon has it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double check on Amazon. I know the other day I was looking for, I think, Scrappy related stuff, and like
Okay.
half of it was missing.
Half of it. Okay.
So yeah, just double check on Amazon if you can get that digitally there.
Okay.
But anyways, we're gonna go watch the episode, and we will be right back.
All right.
And we're back. That was that was a Gaggle of Galloping Ghosts.
Oh boy, we're messing up on that one too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A little improv there.
Uh,
Oh boy.
what did you guys think?
I thought it was pretty good.
You thought it was pretty good?
That was a very good episode.
Yep.
It seems longer than
Yep.
what you would expect. I think it might be from all the different monsters in the movie too.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of sets it apart.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll start from the top to recap
Yep.
the episode.
Sounds good.
You guys have anything to add while we're doing that, feel free to.
Sounds good.
So, starts off, you see the werewolf he's in the castle, he's overlooking. We see the mystery machine driving by.
Yep. Of course.
The game, they're on their way to, what was it?
Franken Castle?
Something.
Was it like the Franken Castle?
Yeah,
think
Franken
that's it,
Castle.
Franken Castle? Okay. All right.
And where I think it was Daphne mentioned that there's a fortune teller up ahead.
Yep.
They decide to go and have their
Fortune's told. Yeah.
On the way there, though, I think Velma mentioned that the castle was imported stone by stone from Transylvania.
I think she said that. Sounds about right.
And mentioned how Transylvania is famous for its werewolves.
Oh,
and,
yep.
I thought
Yeah.
Transylvania was more famous for vampires.
I thought it was. Sometimes there's more vampires, but
I would agree with that. Well, there
Yep.
was a vampire there,
Yes.
there
so
was a vampire there.
it definitely made
Yep.
sense.
It did.
We also get a nice little animation mistake where Fred is missing his blue shirt and is instead wearing a white collar shirt.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Fred has a lot of animation
He
errors.
has a lot of wardrobe malfunctions, and he looked very confused too. He's like
Yeah.
wondering why he loses part of. He loses that first, and then I think it looks like he's wearing a tank top with still the collar on. So he has major wardrobe malfunctions in
Yeah.
this episode.
He is very quick at changing his outfit.
Wait a minute! Don't do that. Oh, don't flip that one. We don't want that either.
They arrive at the fortune teller, and she tells them that there's doom in their future, how they should stay
Yep.
away from the castle, how the caretaker just, left because of werewolves and whatnot.
Yep.
As you can expect, they don't listen.
Of course not. Why would they listen? When have they ever listened when someone tells them something like that? Oh, that means we need to go.
Because they don't want to listen to Shaggy and Scoob, listen to staying away from creepy places.
Nope, they definitely don't want to do that. Uh-huh.
Well, at this point, I think they've established themselves as following monsters, so
I
they're gonna
guess
go.
so. They're gonna go. Yep.
They show up at the castle, and there's just some convenient lightning going on with no clouds in the sky.
Yeah. How is that even possible? I mean, they could use that as
It could be
cover.
really warm, heat lightning.
It could be. Even Fred is amazed by that. He's confused as to why. Wow.
Yeah,
Not
he's so amazed that he gets just a slight almost unibrow while not even. They walk up. Shaggy mentions how the caretaker's not there, so how are they going to get across when all of a sudden the drawbridge lowers? Fred
Which is very convenient.
It is very.
Fred thinks that the caretaker
He must be back. Yep.
So they drive up, they get out, and standing across the drawbridge is a vampire.
Oh no.
Tells them to stay away and whatnot. Velma's just like, you stop that now.
Stop that now. They have permission to be there.
And vampire turns into a bat, chases them away while the drawbridge starts going up.
Yeah.
And Daphne gets trapped on the other side.
Of course she does.
Good old danger-prone Daphne.
Danger prone Daphne. Yep, I guess.
She is prone to danger.
She is
Yep.
very prone.
And all of a sudden, Frankenstein's monster appears and starts chasing her.
Chasing after her. Yep.
Fred, being the worried person that he is,
Yep, very
decides
worried.
to swing a rope to have Shaggy and Scooby swing across to let them over.
Yep.
Which is quite a feat when you are swinging across a moat with a Great Dane on your back.
Yep. Surprised the rope doesn't snap or anything.
Keep in mind there were alligators in that.
There was-
So there's a sense of danger.
Shaggy is just an expert at swinging on a rope.
He is. And wait, this is all done without a Scooby snack. How does
Yes.
that make any sense? Why wouldn't they do it with a
Maybe
Scooby
he
snack?
thinks he'll get another Shaggy snack from Daphne.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah, which
I would have held out for the Scooby snack on that one.
yeah, right.
If I knew in advance there were alligators in the moat, for sure hold out for Scooby snack.
I would definitely, yeah, right.
I
Definitely on
guess technically we were not known that there are alligators in
No,
there.
no, we didn't.
So
That's
I'll
pretty-
give it to Shaggy this time.
Maybe I'll give it to Shaggy.
Hopefully he learns from this.
I hope he does.
They managed to get across with no problems. They get to the drawbridge control.
Yep.
Shaggy pulls out a wooden pole that was holding it in place while the werewolf sneaks up
comes
behind
up.
them,
Yep.
scares Scooby away,
Yep.
and pushes the pole back in.
And Scooby was supposed to be on lookout.
He was supposed to be on guard. Yep.
So Shaggy immediately thinks Scooby did that.
You
Turns to see the werewolf.
stop clowning around, Scooby. He's like, oh, wait a minute. This
So-
isn't Scooby.
He pulls the pole back out, hands it to her like, "Here, friend,"
Here, hold this, friend.
and then they run off. Scooby trips the werewolf while wearing a suit of armor.
Yep.
So this might be the first of what I like to call the coward's costume compendium of the many disguises they wear while running
Yep.
away from monsters.
Yep.
And a suit of armor is not an easy thing to get in and out
It is
of.
not.
No.
And Scooby definitely got in that quick
In and
out
out.
very
Yes.
quickly.
Yep. You didn't hear it fall or break or anything. He's just running
Yeah.
out.
Also, you think he'd be too small to even like fit in there?
That's a good point.
I
He is a
would-
great
I
Dane.
would argue that, being a Great Dane, he's too big to fit into
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
armor.
he's
Yeah.
too big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does he even get in there and out of it without a problem?
Makes about as much sense as most of the other stuff.
That
in
is
the
true.
show.
It's maybe just Scooby logic. It doesn't have to make sense.
Shaggy and Scooby then hide in a big open parlor-esque space.
Yep.
Scooby hides in a piano. Shaggy hides behind curtains in a window
Yep.
and uses expert ventriloquism
Part 2.
to trick the werewolf that they are hiding in different suits of armor.
Yep.
It fools him the first time,
Yep.
and then Shaggy does it again.
Mm-hmm.
Fools the werewolf the second time.
Yep.
But he throws the suit of armor that's holding an axe straight into the piano.
Into the piano.
Scooby picks up some broken piano keys,
Yep.
puts them in his mouth, and
Of
pretends
course.
to be a monster dog.
Yeah. Now we have a monster dog.
Yep.
Monster dog.
Or a dog that needs braces.
Something like that too. Yep.
Yeah, it could go either way.
It could, couldn't it?
It frightens the werewolf, surprisingly.
It does. He's not expecting that.
Where Scooby's able to lure him into a trap Shaggy has just made with a chandelier,
Yep.
which surprisingly works very effectively.
It does work very well.
We don't even see how the werewolf ends up getting out
No,
of that
no.
trap.
That is definitely true.
The fact Shaggy didn't think of how he was going to get down from there
Right.
is
That's
surprising. But
yep. He didn't think the trap all the way through.
But thankfully, Scooby was there
Yeah.
with was it a couch, I believe?
Yeah,
Some form of a
yeah.
Some
couch.
type of bed, day
Yeah.
bed.
Day bed or something.
Good thing
Mattress.
that was available.
Good thing that was there and he could move it. Pretty
Yes.
quick thinking on that too. So
we then cut to Fred and Velma, where they end up in a dining room with a
Yep.
lit fireplace.
Yep.
So, maybe we're expected for dinner,
I hope not.
just as long as we're not supposed to be
No,
dinner.
we're not supposed to be dinner.
In which they see the vampire again,
Yep.
and Velma just completely forgets who he was.
Definitely.
It looked the same as the first vampire.
did.
So,
Almost exact. In
Almost
fact, probably exact.
yeah.
Right?
And yet it wasn't even that long ago.
No,
No.
it wasn't. So how does that even make
She
any
was
sense?
too busy focusing on telling him to stop it.
Yep, that's
Probably thought it was a different one.
probably thought so. Well, they are in Transylvania, this were
There
vampires.
could be more than one
Yeah,
vampire.
it was in Pennsylvania, so who knows?
Right.
But he does look extremely different than a lot of the vampires that we will see in future episodes.
Yes.
Right, yes, he does.
Yes.
So that
definitely.
doesn't.
The amount of vampires we end up seeing is
Yeah,
quite a lot.
It is quite
it
a
is.
few,
That's surprising.
and none
yeah.
look like him.
No.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking around the dining room then. Velma loses her glasses and
Of course.
bumping her head on a table. So
Table.
you go ahead, take a drink for Velma losing her glasses.
Yep.
And she's crawling around under the table looking for them.
Yep.
I swear, Velma, either get a glasses strap,
Yeah, a glass is trap. Come on.
or it's they're only gonna fall so far in front of you. It's
Right.
you
They're going to be
look around in a
close.
circle, not a straight line.
Not a straight line. Yep.
But she ends up crawling into a secret passage that's behind the fireplace.
Yep.
Just getting lost.
Yep.
Which conveniently opened at that
It
time.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it-
It must have been
it
a
did.
sensor or something, and all of a sudden it
Yeah.
opened. Unless
Was
the
there a-
vampire did it. Maybe the vampire
Was there a
clicked
button
something.
that she bumped?
No, I
crawling
don't
under
think
the
so.
table?
I didn't see
No.
anything. No.
Or
I'm
is that
wondering
in a
if the
different
vamp.
episode I'm
It
thinking
might be a
of?
different one.
If it was when her head bumped the table, that was a very delayed.
Yeah.
Because she did spend a little bit of time searching for the glasses
Yeah.
She
before she,
did.
got, and then there was
Yep.
some distance to cover
Yeah.
before she got to the fireplace. But that could have been, I guess.
It could have been.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, the other thing I'm thinking of is maybe the vampire did something when he was up
Again.
in the stand. If there, he has a little console
it's
or
possible,
something up
It
there.
especially
is.
with where we know she ends up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even though we don't see him pushing any
Yeah.
buttons, it definitely could be where he did something because he sees her and he could press a button and that's when it goes up. That makes sense.
Also, it was a dangerous thing to have a fireplace that elevates like that.
That would be very dangerous. Yes.
Does that mean the chimney also elevates? Or?
That would be, yeah, right.
You would think it would have to.
You would
Yeah.
think so.
That might be a problem.
Yes.
You'll see the
That might be a
castle and you'll
safety
see
concern.
that could be here we go. It's a safety. That's our safety concern for the episode, guys.
And the insurance on that castle is probably astronomical.
It probably is.
Especially, it's built in 1668?
Yeah,
if not,
right.
If not earlier.
If not
And
earlier.
then moved stone by
Stone
stone,
by
from
stone.
Transylvania.
How does that?
Do they have to insure each stone individually? For
They
something
might
like
have
that?
to.
And would they replace it with Transylvanian bricks again?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you restore like historical buildings, like you have to be really precise on your materials.
Right. Yeah. Man, they
A
got
lot of unknowns.
A lot of unknowns
in
here.
this episode.
Yes. A lot of.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's full of them, guys.
Yeah. This one actually is surprisingly.
Shaggy and Scoob, they end up in the kitchen. Because where else would they end up?
That's what they
True.
go. I don't think there's anywhere
Yeah,
else.
so they decide to go check the fridge for some food.
You check the fridge.
And we find some pickled bat wings,
Ugh.
werewolf snacks,
Mm-hmm.
and fried moonbeams.
Someone's got quite the appetite.
Yeah, don't quite know. Are those all for the werewolf or?
Or is that for all of them? Does the vampire get one, and the werewolf, and then the
Does
Frankenstein?
have to eat?
That is true. I
You
don't know.
would think he would.
You would think, unless the zap is where he eats. If he gets zapped, then that's his food. I mean, I don't know.
Did Dr. Frankenstein give his monster an actual stomach or just a torso?
I guess that is an unknown.
That is an unknown because we don't see them actually eating the food. It's just must be what they eat.
And would a vampire eat bat wings?
Yeah.
That's an
That is true.
interesting-
Yeah, it's bat wings,
thought
not the
process.
actual
Yeah.
bat. So yeah, I don't know.
It'd be like asking a chicken if it would eat chicken wings, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, definitely don't think so.
I think the werewolf would clean up all those.
I think,
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah,
I can concede that point.
I could see that point too. Yep.
So, obviously, Shaggy and Scoob aren't going to eat any of that.
No, talk
So-
about a menu.
So, Scoob, go check the pantry.
Sure, why not?
And wouldn't you know it? There's Frankenstein in the pantry.
What's going in the pantry?
He probably does eat.
That's why he went in the pantry.
They get into some kitchen shenanigans.
Yep.
Riding around on a hook that's just kind of suspended in the kitchen.
Yeah, why would they be in there?
I'd expect that in like a meat marketplace for like hanging slabs
Yeah,
of meat, but
that would be.
a
Yeah.
castle kitchen, I can't imagine.
I can't imagine that either.
There must be some convenience factor for it.
There must be
Well, it
something.
conveniently helped them escape into a dumbwaiter,
It did. Yep.
which then turned into a slide.
Yep. Yep.
But after Shaggy and Scoob get inside of said dumbwaiter,
Yep.
Velma's secret tunnel ends up into a torture chamber.
No, it's the playroom.
Oh, my mistake. It is the playroom. Look at all those toys.
Look at all those toys. It must be the playroom.
That must be Shaggy over there.
Yeah,
right.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Hanging over there.
Skinny enough.
You know, really
I
skinny.
think the skeleton might have been a little bigger than Shaggy.
It might have been.
Oh yeah, the skeleton didn't have Scooby stealing all his food.
That's right. Yep.
Velma then hears some footsteps and decides to blindly run straight,
Blindly run.
where she falls into a barrel,
Yep.
which I don't know how she heard footsteps when it's Shaggy and Scoob coming down a slide.
It's true. How would she heard that?
Unless she heard Daphne's footsteps
That
from
could be,
somewhere.
but with them, that
Or it
is
could have
true.
been one of the monsters.
It
True, I
could have
guess.
been.
She must have like Scooby ears. When
She must be.
Which makes
Oh,
sense,
wait.
when you lose one sense, all the other ones get heightened.
That might be, but then who's
But then
running?
how can she not feel her glasses?
That is true. How could she not have felt them?
Oh,
or at least
boy.
brushed up against them? Oh, then they're right
We're just
there.
being mean to Velma this week, aren't we?
It's definitely mean to Velma.
She touched everywhere but where her
But
glasses
where
were.
they were, yeah.
Well, Shaggy and Scoob come down the slide. Scooby smells Scooby snacks.
Yeah, how is that possible?
Why were there Scooby snacks in a torture chamber?
No, in the playroom.
Well, what aroma do Scooby snacks have?
Probably like a dog treat or something, I would think.
But they seem like they're dry, and usually
Right.
dry, like dog food, does not have that.
Yeah.
At least that strong of an aroma.
Right, yeah. That is true.
To me, because of how they look, like they almost look like those like small butterscotch candies.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I've always imagined them with like a butterscotch smell.
that could be.
Could be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
that's
don't
true.
think butterscotch is poisonous to dogs.
I don't think
Which would
butterscotch.
explain why Shaggy eats so many of them.
I would explain it too.
Because if it was an actual dog treat, chances are
Yeah.
Shaggy would not care for it.
Yeah, I
That's
think it's
true.
probably some sort of like human. I can imagine it being some sort of human food that's safe for dogs
Right,
to
the
eat,
human grade food or
that
something
you know
like that.
they use as like a premium snack for.
It
you
could,
know,
yeah, it could be
for,
something like
you know,
that.
'cause,
Yeah.
You know, when you're training a dog, like you have like your regular dog snacks, and then there's usually it's like an extra special snack.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
But Scooby sniffs Scooby snacks in this barrel,
Somehow they're magically.
and all of a sudden one shows up.
What pops out? What's
Scooby snack.
Who's that?
Shaggy doesn't believe it,
Who did that?
and then we find Velma in the barrel.
I did. Like,
She asks Shaggy if he still has her spare glasses, which he does.
miraculously.
How they did not break, just sitting in his pocket with all of the hiding and sliding that they've done this episode alone.
Right.
is
Yeah.
kind of amazing.
Yeah, you would think they
Although
would
her
break.
glasses do seem pretty thick.
That is true.
That is, well, they have to be very thick.
They have to be very thick. What about Velma wearing them out?
Well, then that wouldn't explain why she couldn't feel them.
Well,
That's
she's
true.
she's lightly brushing around where it is and completely somehow misses
Situational
them.
awareness.
Yeah, she's not very good at that. Yeah,
We then we hear Daphne, and we find that she's trapped in a dungeon where the top of it is just in the floor.
Mhm.
A
Yep.
little floor grate. She says that she was chased by a creepy guy.
maybe that's what we heard. Maybe we heard the creature chasing after Daphne. I mean, that
Yeah.
could be with her fairly sense of hearing.
And so they find a rope. They lower it down to get Daphne out.
Yep.
While at the same time, the vampire comes out of a
Like a
statue.
mummy.
Like
yeah.
tomb statue?
mummy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
type sarcophagus type thing.
Sarcophagus, like in.
And he starts sneaking up on them
Yep.
when Scooby notices,
Mm-hmm.
starts growling at him,
Yep.
and then proceeds to tie the vampire up. Pretty much Empire Strikes Back style.
Yep. Pretty much. Empire Strikes Back
Stop
style.
that, you mutt.
Yep. Yep.
He gets the vampire's legs tied up, and he drags him over into the dungeon they just got Daphne out of.
Yep. He tells him to wait because he wants to put the vampire into the dungeon.
Speaking of which, we never see how we get Daphne out of there.
No, she's just
No.
ran. We could assume how she gets out, but
Yeah.
yet she's just
I assume
right
they
there.
pulled her out while we see Scooby tie
That
up
could
the
be. Yeah,
vampire.
we just don't see it on screen, which.
So, they walk off going through a tunnel, which seems to get darker.
Yep.
They open a door where we see Daphne and Velma, and they run into Fred. But Shaggy and Scooby have just disappeared.
Disappeared. Of course. Somehow they do.
Yeah. Daphne mentions how she has a clue that there was a note in the dungeon she was trapped in, talking about how there's jewels hidden around. We then cut to Shaggy and Scooby, where they run into a mad scientist lab.
Yay.
We don't know for sure that the scientist was mad.
No, but
But Shaggy is thoroughly convinced
He's
that
convinced.
I think we can assume from its location that,
Yep.
there's something off about the scientist.
Definitely something off. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Shaggy decides to just randomly start mixing chemicals.
He's an expert in mixing chemicals. He's the mad scientist.
And
He's-
there was no indication that he would have known what chemicals they were.
Yeah,
He
it's
probably
like,
did
hand
not.
me a dash of that purple stuff, Igor.
Yep.
He thinks that it'll turn werewolves into a
Into a
pussycat.
pussycat. Yep.
While at the same time, behind one of the scientific instruments, it
Yep.
opens up and we see the werewolf.
Yep.
But Shaggy doesn't like the smell of his concoction. He tosses it behind him where it lands in front of the werewolf and explodes.
Yep.
And the werewolf just goes back into the tunnel and gets out of there.
He doesn't like the smell. The smell really surprised him.
He's not dealing with this.
He's out of here, guys. They managed to get rid of him.
Yep. They see a sheet on the table
Yep.
and they think it's the Frankenstein taking a nap. So Shaggy tells Scooby that you'll pull the sheet off. I'll spray him with this fire hose.
Yep. That sounds like
Also, there's conveniently fire hose there.
some
That is a
other-
good point. I
Yeah.
don't know that that's commonplace for mad scientists to
No,
have a
they-
fire hose
Fire
in their laboratory.
I can imagine a lot of fires break out in their laboratory.
Well,
you
that
saw.
could be the case.
Yeah.
How authentic it is to a Transylvanian castle, I don't know.
I don't think that there's that point too. I don't think that's
But
it'll be a rocky
Yeah.
roast.
soggy goes. Turns out it's just a wire frame
Yep.
in the shape of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
The water pressure bounces off the wire frame into Scooby,
And the Scooby
who's wrapped up in the sheet.
somehow.
Scooby holds up a mirror,
Uh-huh.
to which then the hose bounces off of a light fixture back into Shaggy.
How does that not explode or heat up or
And
something?
that's when Shaggy decides to turn it
Stop.
off. but
Yep.
not
And he gets
sooner.
he gets a bath too. They all end up getting a bath.
No. Shaggy and Scooby, they continue to just play around in the lab.
Yep.
Scooby is now pretending to be a Frankenstein monster.
Yep.
And Shaggy has Scooby get on a gurney, which
He's
has
a mad doctor.
which has straps on it to strap Scooby down.
But you would
Yeah.
not want him falling off.
No, you wouldn't want to
Shaggy
do it, no.
pushing him.
He's pushing him.
In which they hear moaning. Shaggy asks Scooby if he put the sheet back on the on the wire frame. Scooby says no, and it turns out to be Frankenstein.
And he was over there the whole time and nobody knew.
Yeah.
Really?
Shaggy starts running off, forgetting Scooby.
Yep.
This is why it was a bad idea to strap Scooby down.
This was definitely a bad idea. Yep.
Well, Frankenstein grabs the gurney Scooby's on and pushes it away.
Definitely. Why would you?
Why would he do that? He had the perfect chance to strike.
I guess no one ever said Frankenstein's monster was intelligent.
No, I guess nobody said that.
Well, the most surprising part about that is he pushes him away and then he chases after
Yeah,
the gurney.
yeah, you know.
Like, if you're going to push him away because you don't want him around, that's fair. But why would you push him just to chase after him again?
Right?
He's trying to get in his steps, all right? He's got to have his steps.
I guess.
Got a step
I don't know,
set.
was fitness a big thing back in the 60s?
I don't. I guess
Or
that's,
for monsters.
Or for
Oh,
yeah, right.
sure.
Yeah, right. I guess not.
Monsters cobbled together from parts of other people.
That is true. Yeah.
The gurney that Scooby's on bumps into Shaggy, and
Yep.
they start riding down out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Scooby's tail closes the door as they go through,
Yep.
in which Frankenstein's monster runs into it.
Doing
Also-
his plans out.
How does the cart go so fast? Because
That's very
it hit Shaggy,
It does
and he
hit-
still went.
Yeah,
How does it gain extra momentum?
yeah, that
Unless
should
it's
have-
on like an incline that we don't see that somehow it's going down
That should
somewhere.
have, but still.
Right.
It had to be one heck of a push.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's
even if
Frankenstein.
it
He's
is
supposed to be
Shaggy,
really strong.
Just hitting Shaggy would have killed
Stop
some
it.
of its momentum.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah.
But in order to get the cart to stop, Shaggy pulls the chute out from under Scooby and uses
Yep.
it like a sail parachute type
Yep.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully stopping just right before
Just
they get to
before
a
the
bunch
stairs.
of stairs.
Yep.
And then you say, boy, what a fun ride that was.
Yeah, boy, what a ride.
And then we find, Fred, Daphne, and Velma. And Velma is like, what do you mean you're riding that cart around?
Well, since
And then Shaggy's like, well, if you guys didn't get lost.
it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, so, Shaggy and Scooby get lost. Daphne and Velma got lost.
Velma got lost. Wasn't the other way around. Nope.
Fred mentions how the only clue they have to go on is the note from Daphne.
Yep.
So they're going down to the crypt. Shaggy asks, what's a crypt?
How do you not know
And
what?
it's basically a place where people bury their dead. Well, now
Okay.
Scooby's sick.
Yeah, that's right. He's sick. He goes and hides under the thing, and he's sick.
How we didn't get a Scooby snack for that?
Yeah, I know. This doesn't. Unless we're holding out on Scooby, he only gets one per episode. I don't know. Are we
I
cheapening
know.
out on Scooby or what?
But we end up down by the crypt, and we find one that has the same year that was mentioned in Daphne's note
Yep.
of 1668.
Yep.
They open it, and they find the vampire.
Even
was
though it
sleeping.
says Frankenstein on it,
That is true.
on the tomb.
Yeah. Why would
That
he?
is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he sleeping?
Well,
in
it's Franken Castle.
Right.
So
Yeah.
is the vampire's last name Franken?
Maybe it's the vampire
Is
Frankenstein.
the vampire really Dr. Frankenstein?
It could
Oh,
be.
That could be.
That could be too.
Because,
Yeah.
the popular misconception is that, the monster isn't Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
Made by Dr. Frankenstein.
Right.
So
that
maybe
is
it's
true.
Vampire Frankenstein.
And it is a little rude to go opening those crypts.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's
Yeah.
that's a little bit rude. I think.
Yeah.
To the
Could we add
Franken
expert
fandom.
grave robber to Shaggy's resume?
Sure. Why not?
Yes,
Sounds like a
put it
good
on there.
idea.
Shaggy helped Fred open it.
He did. He actually surprisingly was able to help him. And then he made
Or is Fred the grave robber?
that is true. He's one who asked and Shaggy just helped him. So
Although,
it's-
what's the difference between grave robbery and archeology?
that is true.
It's a fine line.
Yeah, there's a fine
I think a
line.
doctorate is the difference. Anyways, the vampire is chasing Fred and the girls.
Yep.
Shaggy and Scooby are hiding by a tapestry, in which they decide to use the tapestry to try to trap the vampire.
Yep.
Which is a good idea.
It is.
Until
Until, Fred and the girls run by, in which then Shaggy and Scooby pull the tapestry over.
Yep.
Vampire's head gets through. He
Yep.
keeps running,
He keeps
goes
running.
back into the crypt,
Yep.
and, they decide to open it. So he's trapped there.
Right. He's trapped in there now.
you would not have thought that he could run that well
No, yeah.
Yeah.
with the curtain wrapped around him.
Right.
Yeah.
You would not think so.
They open it back up, and the vampire is gone.
Somehow magically he's
All that's
gone.
left in the crypt was a ruby, a diamond, and a gold earring.
I wonder who has that. I wonder who was wearing that.
Fred says the gold earring looks familiar, and they notice that Scooby still has a bit of the torn tapestry, and on the backside were pearls and a bunch of other jewels.
Yeah.
Which Fred then mentions how the gold earring is very similar to the one the fortune teller was wearing.
Oh.
So we decided to go back to the fortune teller.
Who also has to rush back.
Yeah.
Everyone's got to rush back before to tell.
The fortune teller then asks them how their trip to the castle was. And Fred mentions how they could ask her the same thing,
Me? I never went to the castle.
in which Scooby finds the tapestry.
On the chair that the fortune teller is sitting
Yeah.
on.
Fortune teller suddenly has a man's voice. Scooby gives that back
Give that
and
back.
runs off. Scooby gives chase,
Yep.
eventually getting hold of the tapestry, pulls
Yep.
it, and the fortune teller just falls right as a police car is coming by.
Magically shows
Yeah.
up.
Well, we did hear of trouble.
There was trouble afoot. How we would have heard that, I have no
Also, we
idea.
don't know where the police station is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. We
It
don't
could be next to the castle.
know. It could be. Or he could just be out on patrol and all of a sudden somehow hears the trouble afoot.
Yep.
you know.
We don't know when the caretaker left, too. Maybe the caretaker, got in touch with them. Was like, hey, there are monsters around here. Maybe you should go arrest them.
Hey, maybe
Or
that
did
is
the caretaker leave? Could the caretaker have been in on it?
Yeah.
that could have been true. There are so many unanswered questions.
He's an unseen character.
right. Yep.
But was
Just
he
mentioned.
in on it?
Right?
It could be. Yeah, you never know.
We find out that the fortune teller is really Big Bob Oakley, also known as the actor, who's wanted in 7 states.
It does make sense why he's in so many different outfits.
I'd like to know which 7. I'm curious.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Simply mentioned 7. Well, which 7 are we talking about here?
I want to know what state Coolsville is in.
That is true. Yeah, we need to know Coolsville. Yeah, definitely. Yep.
In which we don't get quite the the iconic line of meddling kids, but
No.
he does mention he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those blasted kids.
Yep.
And the dog.
And the dog.
And the
So
dog.
we're almost there, you guys.
We're getting there.
We're blasted.
We're blasted.
It's supposed to be meddling.
But they're blasted kids. So, close, but not there yet, guys.
We then end this episode on them having a picnic outside the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're talking how, the one thing they never figured out is how they did the trick with the bat,
Yep.
in which we see a bat swoop down,
Swoop down.
and, it's mentioned like, well, it's just a stuffed bat on a wire.
Uh-huh.
While at the same time, Scooby comes down on
He
the
comes
wire
down on
and
the
steals Shaggy's sandwich.
Part of his sandwich, not all of it. Part of it.
Also-
The majority.
Majority of it, yeah.
Why is he's holding it in some way that something could obviously get it?
Right, yeah, he's holding it up like
When the bat's coming down, Shaggy specifically says, "Save my sandwich,"
Yep.
while holding it straight up.
Why would
into
you
the
hold
air.
it straight up? You'd want to...
So if he does say "save my sandwich," was he expecting one of the other members of the gang to take it
to take it?
and preserve it?
That could be. I mean, that is... With
I
how
don't
he
know.
held it out, that was kind of
And none of them.
Why was he expecting the bat to eat his sandwich?
right? It's just a stuffed bat. Why would it want to eat? I mean, it could knock it down, but that's...
Well, it wasn't going to eat the bat wings.
No, yeah,
Oh.
right. Definitely.
Could
Yeah.
have eaten the moonbeams.
That could, right, could eat the...
And that's where we end the episode. Scooby gets a nice, good chunk of sandwich.
Yep.
Shaggy's upset. Everything's pretty normal for them.
Yeah, definitely pretty normal.
So, this is a nice, good episode.
It was a pretty good episode, surprisingly enough.
Yeah.
No.
On to the more fun bits of the
Oh,
episode.
yes, definitely the fun bits. Of
We
the
have
episode.
another Scooby snack to add to the snack intake.
Yay. We definitely do.
Our current snack intake now is at a total of, we've had 20 Scooby snacks, 1 Shaggy snack, and 1 hero sandwich.
Yay. We're getting up there, but
Yes.
not as the way we want to.
No.
One of my favorite things as a kid was always watching the hero sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I was always jealous that I couldn't have a sandwich that large.
Yeah, it's like, would love to have a sandwich that big. Have no clue how
You're
I
gonna need a big. You're gonna need a bigger mouth.
And Shaggy's mouth doesn't seem that big, so.
But he squished. They always get it where they have to push the sandwich
Sometimes
down.
he ties it down.
Yeah.
He gets Scooby to hold his paw to hold it down, and then it gets flat. And he's like, oh. Then he yanks it out.
Yep.
Like, what happened?
Oh,
Oh man.
All
All
right.
right.
so,
Oh.
what should we go on to next? The Manifest of Monsters or the Fred Jones Failure Files?
Should we let our guests pick for this time, since we have lovely guests this
Yeah.
time? Should we have them pick what we do first? What do you guys want?
What would you like?
Yeah, what would you like, Gus?
The Manifest of Monsters.
He wants to
All right.
manifest a monster.
So, as of right now, the current rankings on the Manifest of Monsters,
Yep.
at the bottom at number 10, we have the 8-Man.
Yep.
Then at 9, we have the Vasquez Castle Ghost.
Yep.
Number 8 is the Black Knight Ghost.
Yep.
7 is Minor 49er. 6 is the Indian Witch Doctor. Number 5 is Captain Cutler.
Yep.
4 is Charlie the Robot. Then at 3 we have the Ghost Clown.
Yep.
2 is Pietro the Puppet Master.
Yep.
And currently, the number 1 ghost is the ghost of Elias Kingston for his spectacular skills at grabbing Shaggy
Yes,
off
off
screen.
screen. Definitely spectacular skills on that one. Yep.
On the grabbing or the lack of grabbing, I would have to say that Frankenstein's monster would have to be at the end or very close,
Yep.
considering he had Scooby
He had
trapped
Scooby. Yep.
and pushed him away.
And then starts chasing.
And then chased him. Yeah.
And what's even worse is he didn't even trap Scooby. Shaggy trapped Scooby.
He trapped it for him.
He had Scooby handed to him on a silver gurney.
Like Gurney, practically. Yep.
So, yeah, I think Frankenstein's monster, he's probably below the 8-man.
He
here.
probably is, yep, he's at number 11.
The costume is more creative.
Right.
But the lack of brains included in the
Yeah.
costume
It's not a
are
good one. We don't
keeping him lower on
It
the
is.
list.
So,
Oh, man.
all right, where would we put the werewolf?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
It is a good costume.
Right,
costume
good
is
costume.
very creative,
Yep,
for
very
sure.
creative. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Also, he's not like he actually has some sort of brain.
Yeah, some sort of
He was smart enough to get out of the way when the formula went bad.
Yes. He's
Yes.
definitely he's up there.
I mean, he's gonna still somewhat be lower because he's not as good as the vampire, so the vampire is higher up than the werewolf.
Well, where are we going to put the vampire, though? Should we?
That's a good question.
Vampire, I think, would be pretty close to the top.
Right, but
Yeah.
we have to figure out who he's not as good at. We definitely know he's not as good as Kingston. No one's as good as Kingston yet. We definitely have proven that one.
But is the vampire better than Pietro the Puppet Master?
Oh, that is true, because he knew the place and he kept dropping everything on people.
He was really vicious.
He was
towards them.
destructive. He was pretty bad with them.
But the vampire did know the castle pretty well.
That is true. He probably knew it best of all. I mean,
He knew how to escape through that casket. However, he
Caskets.
managed to do that.
I mean, he's probably definitely before the clown, at least.
Yeah, I'd say the vampire is definitely above the ghost clown.
I would say that too. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, is he
Although
back
the
now?
vampire did capture Daphne.
That is true. He did capture Daphne. That is true. So,
So 2?
You wanna put him in
I could
two?
I could go
Okay,
with 2.
2?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So the werewolf.
The werewolf. He's got to be like in the middle, or
Maybe,
not
like-
middle, or further from the Frankenstein, but not closer to the. He's got to be.
Do we think the werewolf is better than Captain Cutler?
That's a tough one.
That is, isn't it?
Also, he could get better because there's more episodes with the werewolf.
That is
So
Yeah, and I think
He could get
I think
better.
the next time we do see a werewolf in Scooby, it's the same design.
It
It
is,
is
yeah.
almost. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna say he's probably right before or right after Captain Cutler
Yeah.
because I think he's very much on that level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yes.
It's just a matter of is he below or is he above?
Something like that.
I almost think he's above.
He's above. You want to put him above? Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I
If you want to do. Yeah, I guess we can put.
I would agree. And
Yeah.
knowing what episode is coming up with him, I
Right.
think that episode would put him above anyway.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Now, do we want to put the fortune teller onto the manifest of monsters?
We want to put.
I think the fortune teller would count.
Okay. So we're.
Now, fortune teller doesn't do much.
No, but she warns them. That's all.
And the fortune teller is the monster that gets caught.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'd put her in between the werewolf and Frankenstein. I think she'd be somewhere in between
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
somewhere
Yeah.
in between them. It's just where.
So, looking at what's there.
Above the ape man.
Yeah.
Definitely puppy.
Is fortune teller better than the Vasquez Castle?
Oh, I think
ghosts?
so. I mean, they're kind of almost the same.
I could see that
context.
probably either way.
It's almost the same context almost. You know?
Although I'm gonna ask this, going with the 8-man, is the fortune teller an actual fortune teller? Because then that's just the work outfit as well.
No, now we're getting really into the details here.
No, because we know that it's Big Bob Oakley, the actor.
Okay,
Right.
fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's playing a fortune teller.
Right. Who
But
does
the
very well.
8-man was also an actor in
It's true.
but I would say yes, above the 8-man still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with the 8-man, like, his actual job was an actor. I think here the actor is, like, nickname for the criminal.
Sure.
Right. Yep.
Because, yeah, Vasquez Castle, he was a magician.
He was a magician. Yeah. Yep.
Did a lot more than fortune tellers.
Fortune
basically
teller.
tell him
Well,
to stay
right.
away.
Right.
Of course, fortune teller also didn't have much of a role because there were
Yeah.
3 other monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would say maybe below the ghost and
I
above the
think so.
8-man.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because right above the ghost is the Black Knight ghost, and
Yeah.
Not gonna touch that.
Not gonna, not gonna touch that one.
Not with the fortune teller.
No, definitely not.
so
Oh,
we just
man.
added 4 more spots to
Four spots in
in one episode.
one episode. Well, there's 4 different parts, so it makes
4
sense.
monsters and 1 Scooby Snap.
That's a lot. And only
Yeah.
one
I don't
Scooby
think I don't think we get another episode with this
I
many
don't
monsters.
think so. At least not 4. Yeah.
No.
Definitely not. I don't think so. Oh man.
Now the nice, fun Fred Jones failure files.
Oh, yep. You're right.
All right. Our current listing of traps is at number 10. We have the giant slide from Never Ape and Ape Man.
Yep.
9 is the instant suds that they used to catch Captain Cutler before.
Yep.
Or tried to before
Tried
Scooby
to.
decided to hit him with a boat.
Yep.
8 is just the stampede of dogs.
Yep.
7 is the biplane. Scooby decided to run into the Black Knight.
That he
Yep.
commandeered from a museum.
Yeah.
Yep. That surprisingly still had oil and gas in it to be running, and surprisingly still worked.
Was able to had enough room to get some lift under the wings.
Right, how would that
breaking them
even-
through a door.
Yep.
Number 6 is the fake train.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
5 is just the random drum and tuba that they caught Pietro the Puppet Master in after
Yep.
he fell from some scaffolding
Yep.
with the drum already broken in the
Yep.
middle.
Shaggy just dropped a tube on him. That's just how that one worked.
4 is the giant crate and giant magnet
Yep.
that were used to try and catch Charlie the robot, but failed because
They
of
failed. Sabotage.
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 Not knowing they were dealing with a robot.
Nope, that too.
Number 3 is the mirror that Shaggy used to stop the
Oh, the ghost clown. Yep, that was pretty effective.
Number 2 is just the special effects nonsense that
Yep.
they pulled off to catch Elias Kingston.
Nice, Kingston.
And still currently the best
Number
trap ever
1,
is
yep.
the Rube Goldberg nonsense. That's the better mouse
Trap.
from Castle in the Castle.
No, nothing has beaten that one yet. Oh, that's the best one ever.
So
But we got a few traps in this
We
We
episode.
do.
traps.
We got 3. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, we'll see where they.
I think we should first start with the tapestry because I think that's the weakest of the 3 that we see.
Yeah.
But it was the most ineffective for sure.
Right.
It basically gave the ghost what he wanted.
What he wanted. Yep. Oh, okay. Well,
Now, how bad do we think that is?
all right. Looking at all the ones.
Do we think it's better than the giant slide?
I mean, the giant slide, even though it sucked, it actually still worked versus the other one that did not.
Yeah.
So that it might actually.
So I
be
guess you have to take effectiveness into account.
you do it. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. It didn't even
did not
stop him.
work.
So it would be below the slide.
So today we learned that Shaggy is both an expert at trapping and an expert at not trapping ghosts.
We have ruled this out effectively.
Also a mad scientist.
Yes.
He also is a mad
He
scientist.
is.
That is also true.
Now, do we want the chandelier or the Empire Strikes Back?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Stop that, you mutt.
Human.
Well, both were very effective.
They both actually were very effective, but which was more effective than the other one?
Well, we don't know how or when the werewolf got out of the chandelier.
That is true. And
Yes.
how long that held them down, because it had to be a pretty heavy chandelier.
Trying to think. Thinking back, when we saw the werewolf again, which was after did we see him in between trapping him with the chandelier and him popping out of the?
Mad scientist
Yeah.
machine? I don't think we did.
So it was a while.
So I would almost say the chandelier is his best trap.
I would
An
think, yeah.
episode, I would agree.
Yeah. So that one,
Now, do we think that's better than the special effects nonsense?
oh man, that's special effects did it too.
'Cause, yeah, that one was almost perfect. Like there was no
Right,
issues.
there
with
was
that
no
one.
issues with that one. Yeah.
I guess the only issue with the chandelier was Shaggy did not think through how he was going to get back down.
That is true.
So I
Yep.
suppose we could put it lower for that reason.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
suppose.
Do we think it's better than just Shaggy using a mirror to stop a hypnotizing ghost clown?
I think it. I'd say.
I think it's more creative than a mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say it's probably better than the mirror, but not better than special
Because he
effects.
did actually trap the werewolf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. All right, now we gotta
Now,
do
the tying up the vampire and throwing him in the dungeon.
Yep. All right.
Well, it was effective.
It was effective. Yep.
Do we think it's better than the fake train?
Ooh.
I did enjoy the fake train.
Fake train
Right.
is very enjoyable.
It is very
It's an
good.
iconic
It
one.
is. Yeah, that is true.
So for nostalgia purposes, I would say the fake train is better, but I really like the fake train.
Right. Yeah, definitely one of the better ones.
Because above the fake train we have the drum and the tuba.
Right, and that's just Shaggy dropping a tuba on him. I mean,
Yeah, just trapping them in a tuba.
right, that one doesn't really take that much skill versus Scooby actually going through and tying him up, around and such.
Also, we don't know how many times he tied it around his leg.
Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
quite a few times.
We got the crate and the magnet.
I don't think it's better than that.
No.
No, I don't think it's better than that. So it's around 5 and 6, around the
Yeah.
drum set and the fake train. I'd say it's around that. If we can agree, I think it's at least within
I would
that
agree
frame.
with that.
In
Okay.
between them.
In between them, at least. First, where do you want to put it is another question. You got quite a few
'Cause,
options
yeah.
to put it in there, but
I don't think. Why did we put fake train below the drum and tuba? Thinking back,
hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think because there's a fake. The drum and
effectiveness?
tuba is like. Yeah.
Well, because Scooby chased after him, was actually able to get him down. And they
Yeah, probably
actually
'cause that
essentially
one-
trapped him versus the fake train,
Yeah.
which did trap him, but yet
Yeah.
just because he's hanging off a cliff doesn't mean you exactly trapped him.
Well, yeah, I think we'll put it in between the two. And
Okay. That sounds like a pretty good option there.
yeah. All right. So then I think all that's left is we have to give this a rating on our
yep,
table
we
of
have
snacks.
to rate this episode. To other people to help
Yep.
us rate this one.
Yep,
So that's
so-
going to be interesting.
So on
now.
a 5-point scale,
Yep.
with 1 being the worst, 5 being the best,
Mm-hmm.
how many Scooby snacks do you think this episode is worth?
Oh boy. We're going to rate this one.
I would say it has to be, considering the multitude of traps
Yep.
and the multitude of monsters,
Yep.
I would have to put it a 4.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
to me, the lowest this one could get is a 4, in my opinion.
I would agree, yes.
Yeah.
I was. Oh,
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, guys.
I thought it would be either like 3 or 4. So yes, I
Okay.
would agree with that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we can rate it, I suppose, as a 4 if we want, unless we want it higher up than that, too. I mean, it depends how.
There's an argument that can be made
Yeah,
for 5 for
it's-
sure.
Right, or in between, like
Yeah.
4.5 or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
in the
like
middle.
this is a good episode. Like, I'm surprised this wasn't featured on a lot more of the compilation VHS tapes
Right.
that were where it was like a chunk of episodes.
Right, you're surprised this one didn't make it to one of them.
Like, why was this
More.
one not on Greatest Mysteries?
Right, yeah. Yeah, definitely. There could definitely move other ones out of it, put that one there, but
Yeah.
they didn't ask us at least. They didn't ask the fans where they wanted them to go.
But yeah, like the few things that I think that this episode is like really missing are stuff that hasn't really been established. Like, you
No.
know, could have easily been like a really nice musical chase number.
There could have
Yes.
been, but that's those come up later into the
Yeah.
series, which they're surprising that they're not in more of them than we've noticed, which is
We'll
weird.
get that by when we get to episode 18. So
Right? Yeah, we'll
I
get it
think
that
that
far.
piece missing that is what's not giving it a 5.
yeah,
Right? Because
Yeah.
you think
'Cause
that
we-
that would be.
because we got the quick change costumes.
Yeah, we did. That was interesting. Yeah, that had to.
Oh yeah, I'll have to start making up the list for the Coward's Costume Compendium with
Yeah.
the suit of armor.
Yeah, definitely a lot of. Yeah, with Scooby on that one, definitely.
Which those are gonna be fun when we get more of those.
Yeah, those will definitely be more fun when we get that far.
But yeah, you know, I think a nice, you know, good 4.
I think so.
You know.
Yeah, good for.
Just the few things it's missing is keeping it from a good nice 5. But
Yeah, but
you know, we'll get there.
we'll get there eventually. We got episodes to go that could be a 5. We just
Yeah.
got to get there.
And you know, surprisingly, like we've had nothing lower than a 3. So
Yeah, right. That was.
Well, it is Scooby Doo.
yeah,
Yeah, we do. They're all pretty good episodes.
yeah, I'm actually gonna be really surprised when we finally do get to an episode that's a 2.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something. Yeah.
But so I think that just about wraps this up.
I think so too.
Gus, Pierre, thank you for being
Yes,
on.
thank you.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us on.
Yeah,
No
of
problem.
course. We always look forward to having our fans on, even though
Our super fans.
our super fans.
Glad you guys are enjoying the podcast.
Yes, we're very glad.
Definitely.
If you can't tell, we have no clue what we're doing.
No, come on, we have some clue. We're getting there.
We're having fun.
Yes, we're definitely having fun. That is definitely true.
So, Katie and I for sure will be back next week.
Definitely will be
for
back.
Episode 12, Scooby Doo and
Yep.
a Mummy 2.
And a mommy too. Yep.
So that's another good, fun episode.
It
if
is
I
definitely a
remember.
good fun episode. Yep, that'll be a good one to watch.
I think we'll get more Shaggy expertise.
And some good Scooby action too.
So, you know, we'll be back next time.
Yep, back next time.
Until then, remember, they would have gotten away with it too.
If it weren't for those meddling kids.